Are you looking to figure out what you can do as a nurse? What opportunities are out there? Like, what can I do other than just work at the bedside? Although working at the bedside is key and it's important. What other opportunities are out there? How can I, potentially increase the bag? How can I have a little variety in my nursing career? Then this is the video for you. If you are interested, keep on watching. Hey, welcome back. This is Paris of Prestigious Prep by Paris. Thank you so much for being here. If you are already part of the Prep Squad, you know I love and appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new, welcome. And I'm just so happy that you're here. So, obviously, everybody that is here for a reason. And so I always say, because you are here, excellence must be near, because over here on this channel, we strive for excellence in all areas of our lives. Today, we're going to be talking about all of the different avenues of making money as a nurse. So if you are curious as to how you can make additional money or more money as a nurse, and you don't know anything other than possibly working in a hospital, or I just want to talk to you about all the different opportunities there are out there when it comes to being a nurse. Now, most people think that because you're a nurse, you have to be in the hospital at the bedside giving out meds, when in actuality, there are a million other different avenues that you could take when it comes to nursing. But before I get started, I do want to shout out TIS Scrubs for this really cute STL scrub top. Thank you so much. It is perfect. I love it. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. The quality is amazing. I will make sure that I link their website below for anybody that might be interested in getting you some comfy quality scrubs from TIS Scrubs. All right. Also want to shout out my sis Viv for the connect and the plug, for putting me on to them and entering me into the healthcare professional drawing so that I could receive this lovely, lovely item. All right, so let's talk about it. When you decide that you're going to be a nurse or you go to nursing school, most of your time is going to be spent doing clinicals, meaning when you get to your practicum, that's where you actually are working for free, essentially. But you're getting the skills that you need, so you are going to be in the hospital. When they ask you where you want to go to do your practicum, it's going to be based, in most cases, on your GPA if you get your first choice. So, but most of the time, it's going to be in a hospital, on somebody's floor, a medical surgical floor, a NICU, a mother-baby unit, a cardiac unit, let's see, maybe a neurosurgical floor. All of these are options for you when you're in high school, when you're in nursing school. But what people don't know is that in order to be a nurse, you don't just always have to be at the bedside. I've done the bedside, I've done home health, and I've even now doing the business side of things for an insurance company, a health insurance company. And so I think it's important to note that the opportunities are endless for nurses, period. Okay, so at the bedside, you obviously, or in the hospital, you can be a nurse, you can be a care manager, for example. Someone that works in the ER could be considered to be a care manager to help decide whether or not that patient needs to be admitted. When they get admitted, what are they going to need? What are the resources? Do they have support? Do they need community resources? They will be active in all of those different decisions when it comes to making the determination. They might even be the nurse in the ER that's at helping triage or stabilize them. Then you have the nurses on the floor. Obviously, they're key, and we can't do it without them either. Then you have the nurse that runs the floor. So you have your nursing supervisor, you have your charge nurse, you have your administrative leadership, so your assistant managers for the unit, you have directors in the unit. All of these people are nurses. You also, inside the hospital, you have the opportunity to be like a lactation specialist. You can be a dietitian. A lot of those are nurses as well. So the opportunities really are endless when it comes to being in the hospital as well as being out of the hospital. I mean, in the hospital, you can be a surgical nurse, an OR nurse, or, you can be a nurse anesthetist, which means that you help administer medication for people that are going to have a procedure done. So you help put them under and help them bring them back awake, or help them wake up essentially. That's an option as well. You can be a nurse practitioner. Nurse practitioners can work in the hospital. They can work in clinics. They can work in take home clinics such as Walgreens or a CVS or someplace like that. They can work in a doctor's office. They can work in a specialist office. I mean, the opportunities are completely endless. Now, when it comes to home health, you can be a home health nurse. You can be a nurse that travels, obviously, from client home to client home, administering medications, taking their vitals, providing education. You can be dressing changes, whatever it is that they might need. You might be helping administering TPN, or maybe they have a centralized port. You could do that as well. There's also an opportunity for you to go into the business side of things. And what I mean is, you can actually go and work for a health insurance company. You can also there be labeled as a care manager. You can, which means that you are helping people manage their lives and the conditions that they have. For example, you're providing educations on medications. You're helping them make appointments, whether it be with a doctor, whether it be with a clinic, or whether it be for procedures. You're helping them understand the medications that they're on and how they need to continue the regimen. You're helping connect them with the doctor to say, hey, they're taking this medication and this medication is making them sick. So maybe they need to, if it's making them nauseous, maybe they need to take it at night versus during the day. If it's one that sends them to the bathroom, they're urinating a lot, maybe you request that this is taken during the day versus at night so that they can rest. So that's really some of the things that a care manager does. Obviously, that's not all the things, but from the business side or healthcare side, that's an option as well. You can also do, for example, prior authorization. So for the health insurance company, when our patients come in or the members come in to a provider and they want to have their tonsils removed, they want to have some sort of eye surgery, knee surgery, maybe they need to have an amputation, maybe they need to have some x-rays. All of those have to go through what we call a prior authorization process, and those sit with an actual nurse that will look at the information that was received, place it in the system up against a clinical module, if you will, that will say, yes, this is appropriate for the member, or no, it's not. Or they will use clinical policies or something that the health plan has in place to help decide whether or not this patient really does meet medical necessity for the procedure that's being requested or for the equipment that's being requested. All of these are options. You can also be a concurrent review nurse. The concurrent review nurse sits at the health plan level as well, but what she does is, if you go inpatient for any reason, if you're in inpatient rehab, if you're at a SNF, if you're at an LTAC or some sort of long-term care facility, or you're just at an acute care facility like inpatient for one reason or another, or you came through the ED and you ended up in observation, she's going to assess everything that took place, all of the clinical that's being provided, meaning everything that you presented with your vital signs, your previous history, your current state, and what the plan is, again, to determine whether or not medical necessity is evident. Both the prior auth nurse and the concurrent review nurse work in conjunction with a medical director, which is a physician. Sometimes there are therapy advisors, and what they do is, if the nurse cannot use the information that's been provided up against that clinical module that they're using, they're supposed to use to determine medical necessity, they will send it off to the medical director for the final decision, and then the nurse will communicate with the provider or the facility, the hospital, or the specialist that's making the request, whether it's a yes or a no or a partial. So all of these are options. I mean, you can work in an IT perspective, if you will, at a health insurance company. You can work, again, as a trainer at a health insurance company. You can work as a director. You can be a vice president of a health insurance company. You can also go and work at a rehab facility as well. Rehab facility, you can work for, like I mentioned, the LTACs. It really is just endless when it comes to nursing. So I don't want people to think that nurses only sit at the hospital, because they don't. Nurses are valuable all across the board. What you do is different. How you contribute is different. However, whether you're at the bedside or you're not at the bedside, you do need to make sure that you complete school, get that whole first, 2 years or whatever it is, and med surg. For me, I went straight from nursing school, I went straight into a fellowship in a neonatal intensive care unit, or NICU, at a local hospital here. So, I mean, that was a blessing for me. So I did ICU for a number of years before I bridged off into home health, and before well, technically I did a little home health right when I graduated in conjunction with my fellowship, but before I got over into the insurance side of things. And honestly, there's no way I could do what I do without the clinical knowledge that I have from that experience of being in the hospital. So I know that some people are saying, I want to be a nurse, but I don't want to do any bedside. I don't want to change bedside. I don't want to be in constant contact with people, and that's okay, but you do have to pay your dues. And really, you need to have the foundational information that comes from being on a hospital, or sorry, in a hospital, on the floor, all hands on deck, really understanding top to bottom what's happening with that member, how to pull things together, how to make the most appropriate determinations, how to advocate for the patient. But there are so many different things that you can do as a nurse. So I strongly encourage you to get out there and Google nursing jobs. The salaries are going to vary from, I think when we came out of school, I think we were making like $39,000, maybe back when I graduated in 2009, something like that. Which, I mean, honestly, that for somebody coming out of school with no kids, or even having kids, I mean, that's a good, honest living. And I enjoyed what I did, and I don't regret it. I feel like it was necessary and appropriate, and a part of the process too. And so I even have my scrubs, as you can see, still, just in case I want to go back and do some PRN work, because you always want to make sure that you're keeping your skills sharp, whatever that means for you, whatever that looks like. I've also considered doing some like nursing instruction, being a clinical advisor for some nursing students, or just being the instructor, in class instructor, like for labs and all kinds of things. So I've thought about everything across the board, but I just wanted to share with you that in my nursing career, I've done home health. I've done some NICU work for several years. Prior to that, I was a pharmacy tech for several years and was certified in that. I have been at Clayton County for, a little bit, getting exposure with correctional nursing. I've also been on the psychiatric side of things. I've been in several of those facilities working as a nurse. I've worked rehab as a nurse. I've been a prior auth nurse. I've been a care manager, and now I'm in leadership at a health insurance company, helping to train nurses as well as other staff, clinical and non-clinical staff, to be able to process those requests as they come in. So anyway, I wish you well on your nursing journey. I just wanted to drop this and let you know that the opportunities are endless when it comes to nursing. So don't box yourself in. Get as much information as you can. Get as many skills as you can, and get out here and kill it, okay? Because we need more nurses. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. People that love people, they enjoy taking care of people, they enjoy advocating for people. We need more of them. So I hope this video was helpful for you. I know it was very short, but I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Please make sure that you like, comment, and share, and subscribe, and click the notification bell. Drop some comments and let me know that you were here. What do you do if you're a nurse? Are you looking to be a nurse? Are you in school? Let's have a conversation about it. So again, I appreciate you all being here. And as always, until next time, bye.